Happy Valentine's Day. I'd like to give you a little bit of the anatomy of the heart, starting with the embryo, on this Happy Valentine's Day 2013. This is the first video in a series of what I'm calling compassion movies in order to help you come into a deeper relationship with your own heart, your own cardiovascular system, as a way of enhancing not only your own life, lifestyle, and relationships, but also your therapeutic relationships with your client. So here is the first step to realizing how big your heart really is. I'm holding a physio ball, and I want to tell you that the physio ball here is proportionally the same size as we are in the embryo. So if I were an embryo in my body as I'm standing here, we're actually an embryo. This is the size of my heart, and my face and mouth would be attached to my heart. So the first thing to understand and to realize about the human heart in its development is how enormously large the heart is and how much it can contain. It has a vast field of expansion. It grows and it grows and it grows, and it takes on everything and distributes everything through the human body. So on this Valentine's Day, let your heart get very, very big for your Valentine and be able to sense the movement and activity of your heart. Now, the next step to understanding the heart, because we all know when you get into relationships, whether it's with your partner or your client or your friends or your family, that sometimes your heart gets stretched. And I want to show you why and how to get an antidote for a stretched heart. This is an anatomical model of the heart. And it's a very interesting model of the heart because in embryological development, the human heart actually is a tube at one phase. So here we have a heart unfolding, and here you can see its tube-like structure, just like that. I kind of like this model because I can have it here, and I can also wear it as a necklace, because the truth is the human heart actually develops in the neck, not at the top of the head as some people think. I know I've written about that, but I was wrong. So we have a tube-like structure. This tube-like structure is very interesting because it's upside down at the beginning. So the embryo is very uncharacteristic in its development of the heart because the ventricles are actually at the top and the atrium at the bottom. And it must gradually, over time, get its bottom up to the top. So you can have the atrium at the top and the ventricles at the bottom. So a stretched heart is a part of development. And for all of us that have been in relationships where we've had to stretch our heart and keep stretching our heart, keep breathing into it because this is normal. We are supposed to learn how to be able to stretch our heart because the embryo taught us that. Now, I would like to show you the current adult anatomy of the heart. And here we have a very interesting model made in Chicago, Illinois. And this human heart is called the Great American Heart by the manufacturer. I kind of like that. And it's beautiful because you can see the orientation of the heart, and you can see at the top here the aorta, and you can see in the side here the inferior vena cava, and you can see the pulmonary vein and artery right through here. So we have the basic structure of the heart, but one of the things I like a lot about this model is that it teaches us how to be open-hearted. because what we have to do in any relationship with the client, with each other, and even with ourselves and our own heart, we need to open our own heart for ourselves first and then the client. So I love this model. We can open up the inferior vena cava. We can then open up that right ventricle, atrium a little bit. We can also then open up that left ventricle and left atrium. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. So on this Valentine's Day 2013, I invite you to have an open heart. And in the subsequent or following videos, I'll give you some tips on how to do that. Thank you and happy Valentine's Day.